It's actually changing as we're talking, right? Now it's looking like almost like a pill bottle. So this is almost doing magic tricks. Whoa. Turn around. What happens if I try to stand on my chair? I'm really afraid I'm going to fall right now. But that's pretty cool, right? Hey everybody, it's happening. You've seen me over the past year or so turn my face into somebody else's in deepfake, like Nicolas Cage or Taylor Swift or somebody like that. And I've almost always had to complete the process by putting on a wig or a hat or doing some other fun thing. And those are a lot of fun to do. But one of the big problems with that is that they don't replace the clothing, they don't replace the hair, they don't, do the full thing. They also require a really big computer on the back end. So you've always seen me do things like split screen, and I'll show the other computer that I'm running. I'm simulating that as a camera. Well, we've hit the point now where we can do full character replacements in real time. And you may have thought that that was possible before because you've seen these videos going around on YouTube or on LinkedIn with people turning themselves into all the Stranger Things characters or the Marvel characters or becoming an influencer or something like that. But the reality behind those is they were recording a video with them doing all these movements and smiling and getting close to the camera, and then they would have to upload that to a service. That was usually Kling 2.6 motion control or 3.0 motion control, or there's one by Runway called Act 1 that does all of that. And that's what is called uploading a driving performance. And then it would take a lot of compute on the back end to map that driving performance onto the character, or vice versa, I guess would be the way you're mapping the character onto the driving performance. Now, that brings me back to why we're talking right now. The reason that I'm talking to you right now is about 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, a company named Decart released a new model of their Lucy real-time generative AI model. And what this is a full character replacement in real time. And it's actually pretty impressive. And the reason that I'm telling you the name of the product, and I'm not hiding that and saying this is just for security people, and I'm not trying to be careful about who I release this to, the reason that I'm being that flippant with it is because this company is releasing it to everybody. They've released it specifically for streamers. And the way that this works is you go in, and you can see I've uploaded a couple of versions of Jerry Auger. I've got Mr. Beast. I've got Hermione. I have a whole bunch of other ones, but to get there, I have to also click the studio button. And when you do that, it flashes all of the other images that other streamers have uploaded. And as you can imagine, people are trying to grab attention, so some of those are not very appropriate. So I may go through that really fast and have to blur some stuff to get to where I need to go to show you some things. But I want to show you this interface, and then I want to show you the other thing that's possible with it. Because if you go down here, you see this powered by Decart. Decart has released this in an API, and anybody with the wherewithal of creating an API key, throwing some bucks to get credits, and going and vibe coding something can get this up and running. And I've actually done that. So I want to show that to you. But let me show you the free version first. So if I go to delulu.stream, I've uploaded in my account Jerry Auger. And so you can see what this looks like when I become Jerry Auger, right? Pretty darn good. Here's another version of Jerry. Wonder what happens if I try to touch these strings. Nope, it's not doing anything with the strings. Here's Mr. Beast. Yeah, so here's where it gets cool. So you see he's got layered clothes. So do I. What? That's cool, right? You can also, because this is generating in real time, it's saying what would Mr. Beast look like at this angle. And you can turn around. What happens if I try to stand on my chair? I'm really afraid I'm going to fall right now. But that's pretty cool, right? So just endangered myself for your entertainment, but let's see what else we got here. Now, with Mr. Beast, you saw me go ahead and open my coat. That shows some understanding of physics. As I move my head here, you see her hair moving around. Check this out. Right? That's kind of crazy. So generating the hair movement, understanding where some things are. There's some issues with this, right? Because if I hold up something like a drink, it's not replicating that fully, right? It's actually changing as we're talking, right? Now it's looking like almost like a pill bottle. So this is almost doing magic tricks. Whoa. Yeah. So as it's working on this world model, it's constantly trying to say what's actually going on in the environment, and its memory is not that great, but it's going to get better. Also, again, that's kind of incredible. Let me show you one more thing. If you remember, I do have this other computer running, and what I want to do is pull something up real quick. Here, you can see my Windows computer as well. And on this, I've got a program called altered.ai. This is a voice synthesizer, synthesizing a female voice for me. And so when I do that, let me pull up this one other interface. You can see over here where the green is, that's my voice using the microphone that's right in front of me. Over here on the extreme right is the output of what's coming from my Windows machine. And if I unmute this, you'll hear my voice and this other synthesized voice at the same time. Actually, there's going to be a time delay. It's going to be quite annoying. So here is me and this other voice, Ava's voice. And now if I turn off mine, now we just have Ava, which is cool. And so that means now we've got another character and another character voice running at the same time, which is pretty cool, all in real time. Now, to get all these synchronized up the way that they should be would take a lot of extra work, but it is doable because you see here, in this, I can adjust the number of frames or milliseconds that I want delayed between the audio and video. So it's sort of move that synchronization point because video transmits slower than audio. However, we're dealing with things that are having to be processed because the audio is going through a SaaS service, the video is going through a SaaS service. Really difficult to predict the way that those are going to interact with one another, but we have the ability to play with that whenever we're using tools like this. So I promised one other thing. Let me get out of Delulu stream. So now I mentioned that if you have an API key, which you could get at platform.decart.ai, you create your API key here, then you could go to any vibe coding platform. I did my app on Lovable, so we'll go over here. And we see I've got this thing that I called Mirror Lab, and down here, exactly what you would expect. So if I click this, click Go Live, you can see me become my friend Brian Brushwood from about 20 years ago, back when he had the spiky hair. And again, he's layered clothes, so whoops, that was unfortunate. There we go.
And in 6 months from now, imagine that this person is on a FaceTime call or a WhatsApp call or a Telegram call and asking you personal questions. All right, I think that's probably about good. We will just end with one other fun thing.
When given the chance to be anything you can be, always choose sloth.